Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Thursday workouts. We're going to take the intensity down from yesterday. We're going to do some heavy lifting with jerks, and then we're going to do an accessory and core workout that is intended to be at a detail or an accessory pace. So let's begin with the warm-up of 400-meter jog on the first round, 200-meter jog on the second round. When you finish that, we're going to do some push-up to down dog. So push up, even if you can't do a push up, I want you to do a push down, right? So try to keep your body straight on the way down. When you finish at the bottom, you can use your knees if you need to, but everybody on the ground here, and then shrug your body backwards until you're in that good down dog position, and then back to the plank, push up. If you need to use your knees again, push up. If you can do a regular push up, do that, and then into the down dog, okay? When you finish that, we're gonna do some jerk warm-up reps. So start with, this is my squat setup. I've got the empty barbell. Gonna pick either split jerks or push jerks, your choice. You can even switch if it's more efficient for your push jerks at the lighter load, and you switch to the split jerks as it gets heavier, that's fine. But work on that good rack position, and then the timing is the thing that's the most important. Put that at a priority over the weight, right? Dip, drive, press and land, stand tall. Reset the feet before you bring the bar down, and then you're ready to go, all right? And then our split jerk is split, the feet move forward and backward, right? But my body stays in the same plane. Recover the front foot first, the back foot second, and then the bar, okay? Work your way up in weight as we go through the warm-up there. Kips and scat pull-ups are next. So we're just using that bar to help stretch out our shoulder blades. So horizontal and then vertical scapular motion. Scat pull-ups, if you've been around for a while, you'll probably get sick of all the scapular movement we do, but I promise you, working on those postural muscles and just knowing what it feels like to move them around and giving your brain and your nervous system the ability to move and position your shoulder blades will treat or prevent so much shoulder pain that's out there. And the other thing is when you see someone who has not attended to their scapular motion over a long period of time, they end up looking like this. And I want none of us to look like that. I want us all to have really good posture as we age naturally and maintain good shoulder health, shoulder strength, arm strength, and ability as we go through our middle age, right? So that's the point of all that stuff. So if it ever feels old, just tell yourself it's for the long game, all right? Jerks, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Working up in percentage to a heavy single. Your arms may be tired. I know I just made you do a ton of thrusters yesterday. So take that with a grain of salt, that like, if you don't get to an actual 98% today, that is fine. If you do a single heavy rep and it feels challenging to you, great. We accomplished the mission for today. Don't work it. Don't put any more thought into it than that, okay? Jerks in Olympic lifting are the most finicky, if you ask me, in terms of percentages, because they rely on fast firing of the nervous system, and that is one of those things that you don't always feel down-regulated after like 2 or 3 hard days of training, right? So you might feel recovered, but your nervous system still isn't back to 100%, and that will keep you from lifting as heavy as you think you ought to, even when you feel fine, because it's kind of below the level of conscious awareness in your body, okay? All right, face pulls is our superset along with some single leg squats. So face pull, try to go for one motion, and if you watch my arms go at a 90-degree angle as they go up over the top of my head, okay? Make sure that I am not pulling my elbows tighter like this. I do not get the rotator cuff activation, so elbows out at 90 and my upper arm parallel to the ground if I can when I'm doing that. Then the other exercise is a single leg squat. You can use a bench or a box and support if you need to, but I'd like to see 5 reps on a 1-1000, 2-1000, 1-1000, 2-1000 tempo. So slow and controlled, tap the bench and push back up. Use whatever support you need to, like a ring or the rig uprights are a good support system to use, okay? All right, when we finish with that, I'm gonna go through the exercises for our accessory and core stuff. Dumbbell pullover, right? So this is all lats, posterior deltoid and core. When we do this, make sure on the tripod bench. Again, we're down by the double leg end of it. And the biggest things here are shoulder range of motion and keeping my elbows straight, right? So if my elbows are bent even a little bit, it really takes away from how much stretch I get in my shoulders, and it turns into just a glorified tricep extension, right? If you keep those elbows locked out and shrug your shoulders up, you'll feel a much bigger stretch behind your arms and into your shoulders and lats as you do it. And then you should always have your belly tight and engaged, squeezing your butt so your butt's not hanging down like that, okay? All right. Reverse squats. You can use the same band that you did for face pulls, or you can get a heavier band if you like to, but you do not need a heavy band for this because your hip flexor is a relatively smaller muscle compared to the muscles in the posterior chain. So this is kind of the counteracting muscle to the posterior chain. So I got both my feet up through the band and I'm just pulling my knees to my chest and then extending my legs, and then pulling my knees to my chest and extending my legs. That's my band reverse squat. And again, like just a medium band for that is fine. 30-second hollow hold. I'm gonna grab my foam roller for the next one. So 30-second hollow hold, isometric core exercise, but not in the plank position, in the hollow position. So the hollow position is an intentionally rounded state of my spine. So this is like my neutral position, and from here I'm trying to get my shoulder blades up off the ground and get my hip bones up off the ground, and that's a really hard position to hold right there. If you can feel your hip bones coming up off the ground and your shoulder blades coming up off the ground, you're doing it right. If you're down here with like, you can feel the backs of your shoulders on the ground, you're not gonna be able to recruit those abs quite as much, okay? Next two, seated forearm, seated foam roller, pinch and rotate. So sitting on the bench, squeezing the foam roller between my knees. I'm gonna lean back, pick my knees up. I'm gonna rotate my feet out, hold for a second, and then rotate back down. Rotate my feet out, hold for a second, and the whole time I'm squeezing that foam roller together with my knees, and then back to that neutral position, okay? The last one is another static position on your back. This is a dead bug static hold. Coach's challenge is with the ball. So the basic position is going to be opposite hand and foot touching, and I'm trying to push them together and just hold that position while the other two are straight out. The coach's challenge position is like so, holding a ball, and I'm pressing that ball to my toe while I'm holding the other two appendages out. 15 seconds on the right, 15 seconds on the left, and that is a tough one to do, okay? All right, that's it for this Thursday. Lots of detail, but lots of really good prehab, rehab, and core strengthening stuff in there. So make sure you get as much of that as you can. I'll see you guys on Friday.